Viewers, you are watching the Policy Times. As you have been following the development on Article 370, which the government, BJP government, came up with as one of the boldest, I think, initiatives after demonetization and GST. This was another landmark one. So, to talk on the development of Article 370, we have with us Professor Ujjwal K. Chowdhury. He is a Dean Media and a Pro VC at the Adamas University based in West Bengal. Professor Chowdhury, thank you so much for joining us. What is the latest development, Professor Chowdhury, going on this?
You know as much as I know, the communication from ground is stopped. So the use of internet, use of telecom from Kashmir Valley is not in place. So obviously, none of us knows the latest on ground. There is some reports of joy from Ladakh and a few, some reports of positive reports from Jammu as well. But from Kashmir, there practically is no report. I have access to only one international report that has come in Guardian and one more in Huffington Post. There have been many bullet injuries of some protesters, and it's a complete lockdown. And procuring essentials, procuring health services is now a crisis there. So this is the current situation on ground.
Right.
It is very obvious. It is very obvious that the people of Kashmir have not been taken into confidence, and not only the people who were opposed to 370, those who are in support of 370, not only the people who are opposed to Indian government, those who are in support of the Indian constitution and government, all are being treated alike. You cannot, it is a matter of amazement that two former chief ministers, Mahbuba Mufti and Omar Abdullah, both of whom have been partners of national parties, BJP and Congress respectively, are also under house arrest. So if they can be under house arrest also, along with leaders of many other parties like Congress, the CPM, Mr. Taragami, and every other leader are in house arrest. It is understood some people are even detained to not only house arrest, detained in unknown places. So it is very clear that it is being forced with brute force. It has been brought in Kashmir, not with the people's support.
So I do not want to go into the discussion of what should have been done. I just wanted to know what has been the reaction of international media and international political leadership on this issue.
Again, I do not have the full research in front of me, but certain media have seen, as I said, Guardian and Huffington Post, and editorial comments in 3 or 4 newspapers have largely been critical. And US has, some lawmakers in US has just now appealed that there should not be retaliatory attack from Pakistan, and there should be de-escalation on borders. It should not lead to a full-fledged fight. So that's what natural. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants a war. It is not in the interest of the people or any of the nations, because both the nations are poor nations. Pakistan is far poorer as well. So it is not required to have a war. In international media and international leaders, in my opinion, there could have been discussions among 1 or 2, but largely are taken aback. Largely it has been a bolt from the blue.
Right, sir. Professor Chowdhury, Farooq Abdullah recently said that there is a threat to his life. He has been saying that repeatedly, but our Home Minister Amit Shah said in the Parliament that there is no as such thing that we have kept him in house arrest or anything. This is one. Second point that I want to bring in.
Detention. All are in detention. Every leader there are in detention for the last 4 days. So unless the state kills them, they won't be killed, because they are in state protection. So I do not think that is the purpose of the Indian state. That is not the purpose. Indian government doesn't want to kill them and make them martyrs at this point of time. I don't think so.
Right. I want to have your perspective on this point, Professor Chowdhury, is that one section of the people are saying that this is part of a larger conspiracy to destroy Muslim majority, vote bank anywhere, any part of the country. So they had this as part of their agenda to break Kashmir, because Kashmir is the only, JNK is the only Muslim majority state. They want a complete Hindu majority, system in the entire country in the political vote bank, so that there is no barrier in future, and they have full control over this thing. The other section of the people who are the pro of the decision, they have been saying that this had to be done one day. How? Because this was a temporary arrangement. Article 370 is a temporary arrangement, and it has to be taken to a final conclusion. And from India's perspective, making JNK as a full part of the country is the only option that we have. What is your view on this?
So Article 370 was the basis on which a Muslim majority province, Jammu and Kashmir, did not select the two-nation theory, did not align with Pakistan. They had the option. They had the option being a contiguous state with a common border with Pakistan. They had the option to go into Pakistan in 1947. Yes, some states like Hyderabad wanted, Porbandar wanted, Indian army marched into them and they were taken control of. I understand, because a Hyderabad or a Porbandar could not have survived within the Indian territory as a Pakistani province, could not have survived. Even the two parts, even the two parts of Pakistan, East and West Pakistan, could not survive as a nation. Finally, East Pakistan had to be born as independent Bangladesh. So obviously, it was only possible for Kashmir to have aligned with Pakistan at that point of time, being contiguous states. But the people, represented by the ruler Hari Singh and represented also by the popular secular leader Sheikh Abdullah, Hari Singh with much more support in Jammu Kashmir, in Jammu, and Sheikh Abdullah with much more support in Kashmir, both finally decided to remain within India. And Article 370 was the basis. You must also remember that the province of Jammu and Kashmir had sovereignty even before Pakistan and India were formally born. They had sovereignty before 14th August 1947. The choice was given to Hari Singh to decide on India or Pakistan, because you have to decide one, otherwise you won't survive. So Hari Singh on one side and Sheikh Abdullah on the other, both decided, and accession had happened. And 370 was the basis on which it has happened. But that's 70 years old, I understand. Within these 70 years, there have been 371 articles, and with A, B, C, D, E, F, which have given different rights and special status to the northeastern states. Various Arunachal, Mizoram, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Sikkim later on, even to an extent Himachal Pradesh and Uttaranchal have certain special status. Either you cannot buy land there, or there are other restrictions on business. Several other restrictions are there: property ownership, business, and things like that.
Can we see treatment coming forward in near future?
The point is, if only Article 370 is taken up and others are not taken, then the only answer to that is because Article 370 refers to a Muslim majority state, others are not. The second answer, there was a possibility of making a government within, why possibility? A government was made with PDP and BJP together. Within Article 370 regime, BJP and PDP came together to form a government. And a 10,000 crores development package was promised by Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi at Lal Maidan meeting immediately after BJP and PDP came together, along with Mufti Sahib, who was alive at that time. If this could have been done, perhaps gradually the psychological, emotional integration of Kashmir with India would have got a big fillip. People voted for them. 72% people votes were for PDP and BJP, and such a popular government, 72% of total votes was never for any government in BJP in Kashmir earlier. So why this government failed? For whose reasons? So if this government was made a successful government, this 370 would have become obsolete gradually. Integration of Pakistan within, integration of Jammu and Kashmir with India would have happened naturally. Now, coming to today's position, they are saying that Ladakh people are not happy with Jammu Kashmir. I know that. And in my opinion, Ladakh could have been made a union territory independently. So making Ladakh union territory, because that is the will of the people. The large part of Ladakhi people, there are hardly 3 lakhs people, not even 3 lakhs. It's a huge hilly tract of land with
Right.
very few people. So those 3 lakhs, less than 3 lakhs people were in favor of some independent autonomy. So a union territory could have been given to them, nothing wrong. Then
Right.
Jammu Kashmir. Now Jammu Kashmir, minus Ladakh, let us say, the talk is that Jammu people are in favor of taking away 370, Kashmir people are not. So in that case, do you put your wish on one abnormally? So the wish of Jammu is on Kashmir or Kashmir is on Jammu people? First of all, I do not know how many people in Jammu are in favor of doing away with special status that they had. I do not know. Suppose for an argument's sake, because BJP has got a huge vote share in Jammu, for an argument's sake, let me tell that suppose Jammu is in favor of a normal, natural, no special status integration with India. Great. Let that happen. But why
Right.
have you forced it on Kashmiris then? And why Jammu and Kashmir with 2 crores 1.8 crores population is a union territory and a 3 lakhs population of Ladakh is also a union territory? So
Yeah.
Jammu and Kashmir has been brought down from a special state, not to a normal state, but to a union territory. It is not comparable to Bengal or Maharashtra or Uttar Pradesh now. That's even worse. So my point is, forget the legal, jargons and all. How the right of 370 abrogation was with the Constituent Assembly. Constituent Assembly is no more, so it is with the Legislative Assembly. Legislative Assembly has been dissolved, so it is with the Governor. How can it happen automatically? I don't know. Legislative Assembly represents the will of the people. Governor is a nominated representative of the state central government. But the will
Right.
of the people, which was with the Legislative Assembly, has gone to the governor, and now by default, because governor is the ruler, so it has gone to the central government. So
Now
parliament becomes,
the government is saying that they will make it a full-fledged state, but how long will it take? There is no as such timeline for that. So
as such, the 370 abrogation and creation of new union territory, all these bills in written nowhere says that this is a temporary arrangement and it will be made into a state. Nowhere it is told. It is only Amit Shah's one statement. One statement. It is not part of the law. Please understand. And politicians are adept in withdrawing their words spoken in any platform. How was this done? It was told that there was a Pakistani threat on Amarnath Yatra, terrorist supported by Pakistan threat in Amarnath Yatra. This was told originally, right, to take people
right,
out. So that was a lie. Now we know that that was a lie. Satyapal
right,
Malik, governor, repeatedly told that there will not be a change of constitutional position of Jammu and Kashmir. Repeatedly told
right.
last week. Now it is proven that was a lie. So today, the Home Minister is telling that Jammu and Kashmir perhaps would become a state in some time. It could be proven to be a lie. Similarly, Indian government once upon a time promised referendum, a plebiscite, if you remember. All
Right.
the 3 top leaders, Nehru, Patel and Iyengar, all 3 top leaders had spoken about plebiscite in Kashmir in 1950, 47-50, between 47 and 50. And in the parliament also told. But if plebiscite was done at that time, it would have been huge support for India because
Right.
Sheikh Abdullah was standing strong, Raja Hari Singh was there, they were all in favor of India. So there would have been a huge support for India. But plebiscite was not done by the Congress politicians, Congress governments.
Right.
Today, today the
Club. I want to club two questions now. One, India, the government of India did demonetization to the economy. Do you like to term it as a geopolitical demonetization? And this is one. The second part of it is, what is going to be the real impact on ground? What is the ramification of it now from here?
See, I would not get into this terminological of geopolitical demonetization. Yes, it is stripping the rights of the Kashmiri people for sure. For sure, it is stripping the rights of the Kashmiri people. Having said that, If it was done, like suppose, I'll give a very small example. You have a house or I have a house and that land is to be taken away for creating a highway. Suppose. What does the government do? The government people sends a letter that this area has been is decided to be taken for a highway in public good. There is a law for that. Government can take in public good. They can take this what you call land. So it would have been that. Then a letter would have come. Then the government's people would have come and communicated and tried to convince you. Then a compensation would have been given to us for giving away our land. Our new land would have been given. Some certain process is there. But nothing was done in this case. You just sent army under a different plea of Amarnath Yatra protection. Send army, completely make a huge, large barricade, 1 crore of people under gunpoint, and then you make the change in the parliament. And you make a change by force. So the point is, this cannot go well naturally with the Kashmiri people. If this would have been done with a different strategy, where Ladakhis would be asking for a union territory, suppose, then it's understandable. If there was a movement in Jammu to be completely out of 370 and independent state, I could have understood that. There has not, neither people have been involved at any level. Now the things are being told, but anyway, it was not. Ramification, you say. One,
Yeah.
surely Kashmiri people would not take it kindly. And the anti-India mindset will be stronger. In my opinion, if BJP, PDP government would have been successful with the 10,000 crore development package, anti-India mind would have been slowly, gradually taken out. Army did a great work in Kashmir during the floods. If you remember, in the flood
Right.
relief, army
Right.
was a hero. Kashmiri people were, blessing them. The old people were blessing them, hugging them. Children were hugging them. Army people were hero. How did a hero army now being used as a brute force there? How did a combined government of BJP and PDP with 72% vote turned into a failure and are now, so the anti-India mindset, perhaps, I am sorry and I will be very sad, it might increase because you cannot force 1 crore people with 40,000 or 50,000 armed people for how long? How long can you do that? So
Right.
that's one.
So now, yeah.
Second, larger part in the country, yes. There are 3 or 4 states elections coming. Haryana, Jharkhand, Maharashtra, Delhi. I think 4 states or maybe 1 or 2 more elections are coming. So economy was in bad shape. You know, we know 2% GDP growth has gone down. 2% reduction has happened. 2 positions it has gone
Right.
down,
Yeah.
and real estate and auto sector are in extreme crisis. There are reports of 54,000 crores automobiles inventory lying idle. There are reports of almost 10 lakh people on the verge of losing jobs. A couple of lakhs people have already lost job in automobile sector. Many people have been asked to take a long break and sit idle. So things are in that manner happening there. Real estate is in a big crisis at this point of time. So there has been, BSNL is in crisis, Jet has closed down. So several aviation sector overall is in crisis. So economy was having struggles. Overall 2% decline has happened in GDP. 2 positions have gone down in the international GDP pecking order. So under such situation, tax terrorism, even government's own people, I mean supporting people like Mohandas Pai, they are also talking about tax terrorism. One known entrepreneur, the CCD founder, has committed suicide, perhaps suicide or not, we don't know, but apparently suicide on the ground of tax terrorism. That's what he said. So, in this such situation, and with elections coming, the government needed a distraction. This is a distraction. This is a distraction. Why just now it has been done? Could have in the middle of a tourism season, and tourism was going fine in Kashmir. That means militancy was not there. In
Right.
the middle of Amarnath Yatra, did you have to do just now when Amarnath Yatra was on? These also show the hurry was because there is a perception of free fall of economy across the country, and that economic fall perception has to be sidelined. So government has, as Yashwant Sinha has told, that if there is national election now, they will get BJP will win with more seats. Is more popular it would come out to be. That is the point we are taking, unfortunately for India, and that is every time. Indira Gandhi died, that was an emotional issue that made Rajiv Gandhi very powerful.
Right.
Pulwama Balakot happened, that brought Narendra Modi to power. Now this Kashmir is happening, this will have a huge positive gain for BJP in Maharashtra, Haryana, Jharkhand and all. For some time, Kashmir is our dope. So we all will be talking about Kashmir and not about economy.
One
For 3 months
debate,
during the yeah.
right. One big debate which is now going on, that Indian politicians or Indians are saying that it is an internal issue, and so the decision should lie with the people of India. The international community, Pakistan, and they all have been saying that this is an external issue. China has recently warned or said that Ladakh, though it's a part of India, but be careful when you touch the border issue. We are not going to take it easily. That's what China recently said. America now recently we have report American one administrator saying that India did not consult with us. UK also came up with a warning that be careful, don't be too brutal on Kashmiris. In such a situation, sir, what I wanted to know that is it an internal issue or it is an external
No, no.
issue?
First of all, it is a part of the Union of States. It's an internal issue. No doubt about that. It's an internal issue, and we have to sort out internally peacefully, without any involvement or intervention by any international affair, international forces. Yeah, as far as Pakistan is concerned, they must first concentrate on their own economy and own politics rather than dabbling into. And their target is to distract the attention of Pakistani population by showing Kashmir repeatedly. There are problems in Pakistan, so to
Yeah.
distracting, that is their target. So that's sad part. So that should not happen. Having said that, now that it has happened, there has to be certain series of steps taken by Indian government to win over the moderate Kashmiri, because the moderate Kashmiri is also now angry, is also aggrieved, is also sad. So they are finding themselves cheated at gunpoint. So winning over the moderate Kashmiri would be a big battle ahead, because you cannot run a 1 crore population at the gunpoint forever. So you have to win over them. So that winning over can come if you take at least some steps which are in their interest. One is what we discussed: give them at least statehood, a full, complete statehood. They cannot be a union territory from a special state to union territory. It's like demoting a class 5 student to class 2. It's sad.
Right.
So that's one part. Second part, quick amount of development. This whole language going around as if the whole India is going to buy land there, or the and sad language on the Twitter of young quote unquote government ruling party bhakts telling that now we go there and marry the Kashmiri girls, the fair looking girls. This is in very bad taste. It is not a
That
war with Kashmiri people. It is they are our own. It is not a war with Kashmiri people. You talk of what development just now. I hope Prime Minister tells that. I am told Prime Minister will be addressing nation today or tomorrow. I hope he tells that these are the development things you will be doing. But my question is, you told 10,000 crores development even few years earlier with Mufti Sahib alongside in Lal Maidan after making a combined government. What happened to that promise? Promises are coming at a galore. What happens? But still, I look forward to certain promises from the Indian government and action on ground. However,
right.
for Kashmiri brothers, first of all, as an Indian who is also unhappy at this undemocratic and sort of fascistic way of doing it, uh, sometime or the other Article 370 would have gone, but the way of doing it was highly fascistic. So I would like to really, to any, I don't know, because Kashmiri people may not be viewing at this point of time because they are not on internet. But if someone
Right.
views of Kashmiri origin, I'd like to seek pardon as an Indian citizen, because this is not what a democratic nation should do with its own people or own citizens. So that's my first point. But having told that, I would also appeal to the Kashmiri people not to resort to violence, because violence only will create further grievous injury to your body politic, to your grievous injury to your community. So violence is not the answer. Let's try to And to the government, I would like to appeal immediately or as early as possible, upgrade the status to statehood and then decide on a huge amount of development work there. And when the situation is just normal, let the people elect their own government. The government, state government must be in power. The other
Right.
question is, if 370 can be abrogated, what happens to 371? Why should other states have special rights when the one which had the special right first and on the basis of which they decided to remain in India, they could have gone to Pakistan. That is
Right.
abrogated, then what happens to 371? It's not that I'm suggesting that abrogate. My point is, even if you have to do, I mean, it is not right to have differential treatment to different border states. One
Right.
you do in the name of border states and tribal issues, tribal rights, you put 271, 371. The same thing was here. It's also a border state. It also had the choice to go to Pakistan. It did not go. So this 370 had. So if 370 can be abrogated, do we need to
Not
relook at 371? What is the government stand on that?
so with this. So this was Professor Chowdhury. So if we have abrogated 370, why not then 371 and 5, 7 other states?
I'm asking what is government stand on 371.
What is
I'm
the
not
government
suggesting
stand?
371. I'm asking.
Right. So this was the point that we had. So viewers, thank you so much and keep watching the Policy Times.